I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. Usually I don't do this often, but since recruiting isn't an option, due to unusual rain and thunder, baby I wonder, would you just put your sweats on for me? Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill.
I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Hello, stranger. Fame's been waiting. Just as I recall that ass is still amazing. Playing, baby. Saying, baby. Love is shit, you know I'm crazy. So go ahead and put a drink up. I'm so glad we got to link up. Yeah, get to taking that off of me. Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't make me wait, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just like you will. Come through and chill. Just like you will. Come through and chill. Just like you will. Come through and chill.
I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night. I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone, show me it was real. Pick up the phone. Yeah.
You're back, baby. Cookie, say hi, Miss Mary White. You not speaking to Miss Mary White? Yes, you are. Quit playing. Say, hey, Shay Peasy. Say, welcome to Bitch Fly. You better hold still. And you better not pee on me. We look at your tongue out of me, child. We cannot. Thank you, Miss Stephanie, child. Yes, we are back, baby. Hey, Paulette. Paulette, what you doing? How you doing? Okay. Let me see who up in the building is. Hey, Miss Deborah. Let me go all the way up. Hey, Lisa Bell. Hey, Astute. Okay, Astute up in the building is, y'all. We was over there getting in Britt's Block ass over there. Britt's Block was live a little while ago, okay? I was in between the gas station pumps, and I had to pull up, okay? Pull up on my sis, all right? Hey, Gemini Goddess. Hey, Sweet Essence. Hey, LSLX 16. What up, dude? Okay. Hey, Miss Gloria Lacey. Hell, LB123. Hey, Shawty. Hey, nice to see me. Hey, Miss Alicia. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Miss Deborah. Hey, Magichi. Hey, Playtime. Hey, what that mean? Hey, it's Karma Gra. Hey, my Miss Mary White. Hey, Miss Feline. Hey, Miss Cheryl. Did y'all see that the little like daisy thing, or what? Not daisy, it's like a lily that I planted for Miss Cookie from the Shy. Hey, Miss Nikki News on narcissism. Hey, Miss Honesty. Oh, Shay Peasy. Hey, Miss Terry T Baby. Hey, Miss Harriet. Hey, Miss Sandra. Hey, Nene Love. Hey, Love Key. Hey, Mississippi Thoughts. So y'all, your girl been out here cooking, investigating, and all this stuff. Get some things together. When y'all don't see me for a few days, let her cook. All right, I'm out here like a beer. Let her cook. All right, period. Because I'm getting some shit together and putting puzzle pieces together. Hey, Apple Peach. Hey, everybody that's up in this mode. Because we going around at a Patreon, okay? Patron, after this, because I got to show y'all something. And y'all put y'all listening ears on, okay? Not the ones that y'all be listening to that bullshit with, but the ones that we need to listen with. Because when we get to Patreon, I got a couple things for y'all moles, okay? I got some things for y'all moles. But today, on today's agenda, wait a minute, I left my, I might have to go get my agenda. Let me see. Let me go to my court docs. I got some filings. Y'all know PBE, the MVP, been over there tearing the fucking court up, okay? She made some filings. We might have to read those tomorrow because I found something in the old filing that I want to read to y'all. Okay? So I want to share my screen just so y'all can see this first, and then I'm going to put my overlay up here so y'all can see the folks' information, okay? Because I don't know if y'all want to be, y'all like to sneak around to people's houses and shit, okay? Yeah. Okay, so here we have, right here, y'all see this default judgment for Miss Melissa S. Scott Chase? Okay, this right here, and I'm gonna say, I can say the name because she said this ain't her name, okay? Which again, y'all know that now this is what we'll read it in the documents, but I want to read her answer. Y'all see she got the default judgment on April 30th, okay? Her summons was returned, executed. I think it was back in May. Here we go. Oh, April 7th. Return executed served on 3/29. That was on Easter last year. Answer due by the 19th. Okay. If it was returned on the 29th, I wonder why she just wait so long to file the motion for for the default judgment. Cause that'd be anybody else, her ass be all up on it and shit. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know who all know who and why they know who. We're gonna find out a couple things on Patron, okay? But I'm going to read her response because I found a couple things in her response here. And this Tea Talk with your girl, I found a couple things in her response that, again, y'all, this calculated attacks been going on and cooking and brewing behind the scenes for years now, okay? 4 years. Unbeknownst to us, we ain't know this shit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't know none of this shit was going on. But now that we look back at some of the stuff and look back at some of these documents and look back at some of these lives, now the dots are fucking connecting, okay? So let me put an overlay up here so that I can pull this up here and then we can get to the part. Hey, Relly. Hey, Simply. You know I don't trust you. Let me find me a nice little overlay. What overlay y'all want me to do? Y'all want me to do Lil Harriet? Or Grown Harriet? Y'all want, which one y'all want? We doing the slaves, y'all. Let me see. I'm gonna do Ike. Let me do Ike. And there's no update on his case and Mel case yet. So y'all know as soon as that information become available, I got y'all. Okay. Not Simply being in the good mood. Hey, Simply. Or can I say tweet? I cannot stand them, y'all. Her and Ditto. I can't stand them. Let me see here. Okay. Let me pull this up so y'all can't see their address. And I'm going to go down so I can see something else. Okay, I'll see when I get to this part, and I'll put the overlay back up here. But in the meantime, in between time, let me read this. This is Tea Talk with your girl's response. Let me read this. Like I said, this, you know, before we don't know, but now some things in here we gonna pick up on. Okay, so let me get to it. Everything on the channel is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Don't strike me, strike your mammy. Okay, and anything over here is where we at. Fair use. Okay. And that's OP. But yeah, let me get to this shit. Okay. Okay. So she says, please consider this my answer response. Child. I thought an answer was with the response, but we gonna digress to the summons that was received at my home address on Saturday, March 30th, 2023. Now this said, now on the docket, it said it was received on March 29th. Okay, March 29th, I think, was Easter 2024. Okay, so that makes Saturday can't be the 30th, but we digress. We ain't gonna harp on the dates. Okay, maybe she don't know what the calendar looking like. We don't know. Okay, or it might have been Saturday, might have been the 30th somewhere in the U.S. Okay. It appears that I am being named as a defendant in the case listed above, though the name is incorrect. Okay. Melissa Scott Chase is not my name, though it is similar. I am really confused about being a defendant in this case when the plaintiff did an illegal background check on me. Now, where we just heard this from? Didn't we hear this from the real family of YouTube? The mama, daughter, mama, stepdaughter, whatever duos. The family, you know, that's going around YouTube harassing mofos and bullying and all that shit. Didn't they use this right here? They said breaking news or action news or whatever that dropped the mic had been helping the Gossip Girls, Tay Wente talking brown skin girl, produce illegal background checks on me. What is it? Can somebody put in the chat what an illegal background check is? Because when we get to Patreon, we're going to see what they talking about with these background checks and the legalities of it all, okay? And we're going to find out that some people know what the fuck doxing really is, but yet they around here suing for shit when they know the real reason of it. And they around here spewing it out and when they know the real reason of it, okay? But we're going to find that out on Patreon because it's somebody else's video that was screen recorded back then, okay? But we got it now. All right. Hey, Miss Helen G. Okay. Hey, PBE. As well as doxing my personal information that has been shared with at least 10 more YouTube content creators. And I'm assuming she mean either on this lawsuit or on the, the regular YouTube. I don't know who put this on regular YouTube. I know Sherelle's World did a live and Benny had his musty ass up there talking, doing the live and shit. Hey, did him. And putting our names and stuff out there, but they wouldn't say his stuff when he's on here with his regular damn name, child. We don't know what the hell. I just, y'all, we gonna finish reading. Okay. As well as doxing my personal information that has been shared with at least 10 more YouTube content creators. She claims she was working pro bono for one of the other defendants when she confessed on Chef Don Don's YouTube channel. And she gives Don Don's real name. Miss McNeil openly admitted that she participated in running background checks on us for another defendant, Vera Calvin, which is PBE, whom at the time was harassing myself, Anthony Lofties, Chef Don Don, and Prosperity Thick Girl. And then she made mention that YouTube names is what I know them by. But you just referred to Chef Don Don by this name. But we digress. Let's move on. So she said PBE was harassing all these people. They are all defendants mentioned in this lawsuit. McNeil has abused her privileges as an attorney, as a lawyer, to gather information on us and freely pass it to Miss Vera Calvin, who has doxed us openly on her YouTube channel as well as her Facebook. Okay. Up here, the allegations was that the plaintiff did an illegal background check, but that right here she says that Miss McNeil, the plaintiff, was doing she was working and doing the background checks for her client, working pro bono. None of this shit, if PBE was her client, none of this shit she should have been knowing. Okay, but we gonna find out why and when. Okay. Miss Calvin had bad intentions, and Miss McNeil knew it, as she was her co-host on her YouTube channel at the time. I created my YouTube channel as Tea Talk with Your Girl, and didn't openly share my name with Miss McNeil or any other YouTubers, because I work for the public school system and I do not want my YouTube persona to be commingled with my career. Totally understandable. Boom. That's facts. Okay? You work at a public school, so you should be careful what you come on here and do. She shows her face. These are things that's understandable. Okay? Same with me. Just like some stuff that y'all want me to talk about and stuff like that, especially when it's come to some stuff that's regarding like race relations and stuff like that, I feel certain ways about it. And I be wanting to talk about it. But with my job, allegedly at the gas station, I can't be on a public platform saying certain things about how I feel about certain things because of my job. You know what I'm saying? So this stuff that these people also is putting out on YouTube that's defaming my character, my employer knows about my YouTube page. So can you imagine my employers seeing this stuff that's being spewed around about me that's not true? So I totally get her with this. But I also want to know, how did Anonymous know her name to even do the background check? That's why I want to know. Hey, Just Jules, Tasha B, and Bay, and Scorpio Miss. Yeah, PBE, some line going around. Some line going around. Yeah, and I thought she did say that Marcella doxed her before. That's strange. Miss McNeil and Miss Calvin also called my job, trying to cause friction at my place of employment. Like you said, you called Anthony's. But unlike the situation with Anthony, it looks like you still have your employment. But maybe not when Empress says she might get done with your ass if you keep calling kids bastards and shit on the public platform and you work for a motherfucking school. You might want to watch the kind of shit you say about kids when you work for a public school. Child, what the hell wrong with you? You think the superintendent and the principal and shit like that at the school want to hear you on YouTube looking like you're inebriated, calling kids bastards and shit? Huh? I don't think that ain't what you want, right? Maybe you should stop that. Okay? Maybe you shouldn't have even said that. But I digress. I know I wouldn't want my kids being at no school, and I see one of the people from the school on the YouTube calling people kids bastards and shit. I would feel away. Wait, what the fuck? What you mean? Shit, she might slip and call my kid a bastard at the school. My kid was born out of wedlock too. In a public school? Shit, I'm quite sure it's quite a few people that are born out of wedlock. So what you call the kids? Bring your little bastard, sit your little bastard ass down somewhere. Is that what you do at the school? See, that's why you got to be careful when you own this internet and you work in these jobs. You have shit to lose. And you can't afford to be having people out here spewing this motherfucking defamation about you and your name and shit. Okay? Yeah, I'm just saying. Because we show our face. Thankfully, I made my job aware that I had been doxxed and my employment was exposed by Miss McNeil during the background check that she ran. And again, what the fuck did she even do? Why did you need her job information? What y'all gonna do? Go out to the job? See that, playing with people employment. In my opinion, Miss McNeil is now abusing the system again by creating a frivolous lawsuit to gain monetary compensation from YouTube and Google. Y'all pay attention to this paragraph. Miss McNeil told me, parentheses, when we were on good terms, parentheses, that she wanted to form a class action lawsuit against YouTube. For what and for why? You ain't asked those questions? When was y'all so close that y'all turns was so good? Because I ain't never really see her on her page like that. Like she used to be up around ours and chit chats and all that shit. When was y'all that close when she disclosed this plan to you? Okay. Not to mention, PBE said the same thing. That Anonymous told her that they had planned to sue YouTube. And in my opinion, they were closer than her and T-Talk, but I don't know how close they might have been behind. Maybe it was behind the scenes, the stuff that people be saying be behind the scenes that we don't be privy to, okay? Not the stuff that be behind the scenes that they say we be doing on YouTube and Google, because it ain't no doing shit behind the scene on YouTube and Google that YouTube and Google don't be fucking knowing, okay? But we digress. This was also prior to her falling out with Miss Calvin and leaving YouTube. She didn't leave YouTube when she fell out with Miss Calvin. We, content creators, are being used for her personal agenda. This lawsuit holds no merit when Miss McNeil, along with Miss Calvin, were the aggressors toward every defendant listed outside of Vera Calvin. They were partners in crime. I don't know where Uppity Tail at. She might be busy today. She should be around later. If anybody in the chat getting into some mess, y'all handle them for me, okay? Yes, Tanya. School employees are subject to moral turpitudes. Okay. So again, look at we got to pay attention to the tone of this thing. Miss Calvin is listed as a defendant in this lawsuit. Hey, Brownie. Hey, Mickey Picky. So it's a lot of emphasis being put on PBE, like they were doing around the YouTube streets. Every time we talk, Anonymous even had a conversation with Didum where she was trying to entrap her, that we had to let her know what to say, some things back to her to deny what the fuck she was trying to say. And everything she asked PBE, Everything. Did them feeding into it like, yeah, what's going on? We could, what PBE is? Oh my God, what PBE? Oh my God, everything, all of this stuff they're blaming on PBE. Again, I hold firm. I don't know what all they had going on, but I knew that the shit that they were on YouTube saying the PBE was doing wasn't PBE, because this shit was going on before a motherfucking PBE and all this shit, this shit that they talking about now. So I knew they was on that bullshit, and now she was their fall guy. Okay, but I digress. Let's move on, because I got something else to read for y'all where she got fucking cleared. Okay, again, and I'll finish this. Let me finish this. Okay. It was Miss Calvin alone who harassed and doxed Miss McNeil by releasing audio from a court hearing that stated Miss McNeil had been suspended and may be being barred from practicing law due to her mental illness. Now, again, we right here, what are you putting this in here for? Because one of these defendants that she named up here, Prosperity Thick Girl 40, was the first channel that I ever heard of these court hearings, the audio from the court hearing. And the audio from the court hearing is not doxing her or harassing her, as we about to read in a minute. Okay? And what Google and TikTok had already told her, just because it's something that you don't like, don't mean that it's harassment or whatever the case may be, or grounds to sue somebody. You shouldn't have did the shit. And it wasn't Miss Calvin alone. She read this shit after Prosperity Thick Girl had it on her page. Okay? And revealed her whole name. But again, like I told y'all, Anonymous revealed her name, Sarita, on De Silva's channel. Long before this. But we, all of those videos are down. We weren't thinking back then to screen record people's stuff and all this, but it can be retrieved by Google or TikTok YouTube if need be. Where was I at? Oh. Miss McNeil became angry and stated she would punish us all. Why would she say she was going to punish us all, or you all, if Miss Calvin worked alone? So who was the all? For exposing that she had doxed us and ran background checks on our platforms. Why was no police reports made? If she had doxed y'all, why was no police reports made for her or Miss Calvin? Miss McNeil has harassed and bullied me along with Miss Vera Calvin and is now naming me as a defendant. I would have to say, because of this, Miss McNeil may not need to be practicing law. She is abusing her power. Now, I agree with that shit. Okay, I agree. She claims that I harassed and threatened her on 12/6/2023, which is the day Melody aired Benny out. And 12/8/2023, which we're going to get to that date in a minute. On Patreon. However, she was the person who was involved in harassing and doxing on myself, as well as every other defendant listed outside of Vera Calvin, who was her co-conspirator. Okay? Thank y'all. Do what Britt said. Hit that reaction button, okay? I didn't threaten Miss McNeil. What I told Miss McNeil is that if anyone comes to my home or uses my credit for anything, she is to blame. Now, I don't know, the background checks include getting your social security number. Okay? And from what they were saying around on the streets and stuff like that, your credit might not be that worthy. I don't know. It might have been at this time. I don't know for sure. But still, no matter if your credit score was your damn shoe size, they don't have the right to get into your shit. Okay? And the background check, again, I ain't know that included no damn credit social security number. Okay? And I will sue her for abuse of power and exposing my identity when that was not my desire. Okay? So here we go here. Miss McNeil, in my opinion, should not be an officer of the court if abusing the power that was granted by the great state of St. Louis is to harass and run illegal background checks and dox people who remain to be incognito just to show that she can. Now, put a 1 in the chat if St. Louis, the great state of St. Louis, has been added to the United States. Is St. Louis a state of the United damn States? Put a 1 in the chat. If we now have 52 damn states, do we have 52 states in the United States? Because I didn't know the great state, or maybe because it's a great state of St. Louis and not, and not just the state of St. Louis. Okay, so it's a great state of St. Louis. Okay, ma'am, you working at that school as what? What's the position? Because your ass said, for one, you ain't think that this one content creator was a bully because you deal with bullying at the school you work at. So that's something that else that you completely oblivious to. And second, what country is St. Louis got a state in? I just want to know. Somebody let me know, okay? Because she read her for filth in this last little thing, but this part about this great state of St. Louis got me shook a little bit, okay? So I don't know, maybe she was just furious about even being named in this bullshit that she thought St. Louis was the state. We digress. Okay, the child worked at the school. Maybe they was called in the school because you thought St. Louis was the state. We don't know. Okay, did we ever get clarification on why they called that damn school? Since Miss McNeil, who was the instigator in this matter, is trying to sue me, I am countersuing her bitch ass. Okay, she ain't put that in the court paper, but she got a right. 1, for the reimbursement of my airfare. 2, the reimbursement of my hotel expenses. 3, the reimbursement for food while traveling. 4, pay my court costs if applicable, and all lawyer fees. Now, have you gotten any of this yet? Because as of now, she still has this $10 million judgment on you. 5, plus $10,000. Wait a minute, is that okay? That's it. I'm about to say, is that $10 million? $10,000 for mental anguish and pain and suffering she caused releasing my home address by doxing me for the pleasure of the defendant, Vera Calvin, who assisted her in passing my background check around YouTube. Did Vera Calvin know your name? How did they know your name? Because again, I could have swore she said that Marcella had doxed her ass. Okay. Any other incidentals accrued while traveling, as I have no plans to come to the great state of St. Louis. We just gonna digress. But let me put an overlay up because there's something else I wanted to show y'all. Put that up. So let me see. So she has the summons in here, and then she has anonymous original lawsuit. And I just want to bring this to y'all attention. Because here she has me, I'm defendant number 7. And she has me, my job or title, if known, because if you ain't know it, you ain't have to put it on here. YouTube content creator and other social media accounts. So why would you try to serve me at a Citco Petroleum Corporation in Dallas, Texas? Here you have my address, Detroit, Michigan. This is all things that she's already displayed out on me and everything, okay? Let me put the overlay back up here. Okay, this is her own information. Okay, now let me go and read this piece really quick. This her statement of claim. Where did the events giving rise to your claim? YouTube content creator Anthony Lofties used my subscriber information and contact people from St. Louis, Missouri to dox me initially. Okay, so here she is saying here that Anthony doxed her. She also tried to say to drop the mic that we had access to y'all information when y'all subscribe to our channels. We don't. Okay? That would be fucking. Do y'all think YouTube or Google will even be up and running if you subscribe to somebody's YouTube page and they get all your information? Where she got that from, I don't know. I think she just made it up, okay? I think this is something she made up in her head because all we see is your subscriber information. And when we click on the information on your page, if you got a picture up there, we can see your picture. This is what everybody on YouTube can see, whether you subscribe to them or not. You can see if they have their email on there, you can see their email, how long they've been a YouTube person, been up on YouTube, and you can see if they have any subscribers or something like that. You can see that. That's it. You can't see anything in a background. That if that was the case, we didn't even need to do Google AdSense or anything like that because they will already have all our information. Idiot. He conspired with YouTube content creator Wente Talk and dropped the mic to publish my full government name through other panelists on their Gossip Girl YouTube live. Again, everybody on this motherfucking internet here knows that we don't fuck with no Benny and Benny don't fuck with us. Okay? Since May of 2023. Maybe a little bit before then, but officially in May of 2023. Also, he conspired with the YouTube content creator Prosperity Thick Girl to run 2 to 3 YouTube lives to publish an article, LinkedIn profile, my picture, and other information, even though I was never a subscriber or a panelist to her channel. Then how did she get your information? And how do you know that she conspired with him? But again, like I said, she told Didum that her daddy gave them that information. Her daddy. Also, the YouTube content creator Pretty Brown Eyes published an illegally recorded police officer statement and audio from a disciplinary hearing as well. Anthony Lofty's doxed me in July 2023 per intelligence. Y'all see this shit? Per intelligence. Natavia Garner, Wente Talk, and Felicia Moore dropped the mic, allowed panelists to dox me. Example, publish my full government name into government name and info on plaintiff during a YouTube live on 7/25 and 12/7/23. Joanne Jenkins, Prosperity Thick Girl, and Chef Don Don continue to dox plaintiff on the evening of July 28th, 2023, 8/2/2023, 12/7/2023, and 12/20/2023. Vera Lynn Calvin continued to dox, harass, and threaten plaintiff life on 11/5/2023, 11/6/2023, 11/13/2023, 11/21/2023, 12/9/2023, 12/10/2023, 12/20/2023, and 12/22/2023. Giving you the real tea, dox, harass, and threaten plaintiff life on 12/6/2023. Tea Talk with your girl, harassed and threatened me on 12/6 and 12/8/2023. Again, you can only be doxxed for the same thing one time. So if you release somebody's real name on a public platform and they go by Wente Talk and you release Natavia Garner on a platform, that's doxing me. After that, everybody can go to that page or whatever the case may be, and now they know they can't unhear that Wente Talk is Natavia Garner. Okay? Now, another doxing may be if they put out my address, like they put out my address on here. Okay. They put out my address on Sherelle's World. Okay. I didn't think about that. I got a little doxing little thing with that. Okay. Because she put my address on her page. That's another doxing. So if you already somebody put your name out there, that's only one, that's it. Nobody else can dox you via your name no fucking more. Okay? But I digress. Now, let me stop sharing this and let me get into the way that Felicia Moore, AKA, or not AKA, okay, not known as Drop the Mic, attorney, read anonymous for complete and utter filth. And just like Nessa, I don't know what she was doing. I don't know how she got these people's information, their real names, either by somebody that they knew that was giving it. Like Thick Girl have her name on her page. My name came out when I was in the movie. Or I used to have my name on YouTube anyway before that. Before I, started doing commentary, I had Natavia Garner as my name on YouTube. That was just what I had, like I say, it was a problem. Chef Don Don, I never had seen his name before these court documents. So I don't know how she got his name. I know, like I said, I know another content creator told us that she didn't say she could get their names, but she could see where they were at, the people that was harassing us, like with these fake accounts, these troll accounts and stuff like that. And we'll talk a little bit about that stuff over in the Hey Empress over in the Patreon, because we gotta talk about some shit in Patreon about this fraud shit that's been going on, that's really been going on. Okay, so we gonna put y'all on alert because it's a fraud alert. Okay, yeah, people might be getting y'all information. We gonna let y'all know how some of these people may be getting y'all information, and it's other stuff around YouTube that I think people get people's information too. I don't know. I like I said, I'm not into that type of thing. So, and I don't give a fuck what nobody's name is. You know, you tell me your name is on Briss Block, your name is on Briss Block, and that's what I'm gonna refer to you as. Okay, I even with anonymous, y'all see the majority of the time, unless I'm reading the documents, I call her motherfucking ass anonymous because that's what I know her from YouTube. But y'all seen when we did the one recording in Patreon that the LB lady said she didn't know anonymous except she had linked her up with her cousin or whatever, but she called her Sarita. Another content creator that said she don't know her, she called her Sarita. One day it just slipped out. Usually you do that when you know that person by that name already. Before you know them as the online persona, you know them already, so you just call them that. Like it's a girl on here that I went to middle school with. So like if I see her in a chat, I don't say her name unless I'm reading it. I'll say her name. Other than that, when I see her, I'll be about to say her real name because I know her from middle school. So I'll be about to say her real fucking name. And I'm like, oh, I can't say her real name on here because that's not what her name is on here. So sometimes I don't even speak to her because I've been slipped up and said her real name, you know? So that's how that is. What was I about to show y'all? Oh, the court documents. Child. Just drunk. Okay. Oh, and y'all, PBE did a timeline of anonymous and her shit, and even like anonymous police reports don't match up with what the fuck she even saying in these court documents, y'all. Okay, I don't know what the fuck she thought or what was going on, but child, she's a mess. It's a mess. But let's get into this shit right here, because when I tell y'all she got laid out and they're asking for relief as well. So she's about to end up on all these people money. That's just my opinion, okay? The same with OWN. OWN is asking for a motherfucking relief for court costs, fees, and all of that shit. Do y'all know how much money it is to pay a corporate attorney? When you on your fourth motherfucking complaint, fourth amended complaint, a scandal and a damn shame. Okay, we got it. We here. Let's go. Okay, so this is the reply to plaintiff's response to defendant Moore's, which is Felicia Moore, motion to dismiss amended complaint. Oh, let me put the Patreon link in the chat because we're going to Patreon after this. I set it for 6:30. We might be a little late, but we're gonna be over there because we got some shit to show y'all over there. Okay, we ain't did Patreon in a minute too. We could talk freely. Okay, so let me get back to it. Let me pin this in the chat. Go ahead, sign up. It's $5. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. Boom. Defendant Felicia Moore, by and through her counsel, replies to plaintiff's response to defendant's motion to dismiss, document 162, and states the file as follows. Introduction. Plaintiff's amended complaint does not state a claim for which relief can be granted. We have heard this from on several times. Okay. Diddum is in there. Diddum will be there too. Diddum will be there. Plaintiff's sparse factual allegations against defendant Moore do not state a claim. Furthermore, most of the plaintiff's alleged legal basis for her claim are invalid, either because plaintiff has misinterpreted the law or because plaintiff does not have a private right of action under the law plaintiff cites to this court, i.e. the violation of freedom of speech and all that shit, the violation of Federal Trade Act and all that bullshit. Even plaintiff's response to defendant Moore's motion to dismiss abandons several of her claims and provides no explanation for how the facts plaintiff alleged state a claim. The court should dismiss plaintiff's claim against defendant Moore. Legal standard. In responding to a motion to dismiss, a plaintiff is not permitted to introduce new unpled facts. And he give a case study, which the case study you have. Plaintiff, quote, cannot change or add to the factual allegations in his complaint by including them in his opposition to the motion to dismiss, unquote. And as such, facts first introduced in the opposition are not considered in elevating the significance of the complaint. Okay, he gave another case studies. It is axiomated that a complaint may not be amended by the briefs in opposition to a motion to dismiss. To hold otherwise would mean that a party could unilaterally amend a complaint at will, even without filing an amendment, simply by raising a point in a brief. Okay, and that's on P. A plaintiff has an obligation to provide the grounds of plaintiff's entitlement to relief, and a formulaic recitation of the elements of a case of action will not do. The purpose of a rule 12b-6 motion to dismiss is to test the legal sufficiency of a complaint and eliminate those actions which are fatally flawed in her legal premises and designed to fail, thereby sparing litigants the burden of unnecessary pretrial and trial activity. And he cites the case. Discussion. Plaintiff has failed to prove to this court. Plaintiff has failed to provide this court with even a single case providing any semblance, I don't know if he's supposed to be resemblance, of a legal basis for plaintiff's claim against defendant Moore. Plaintiff's factual pleadings involving defendant Moore are sparse and unclear. While plaintiff complains about the behavior of an individual using the YouTube moniker Drop the Mic, plaintiff has provided no facts demonstrating any connection between defendant Moore and this individual. Okay, and he has a site. Let me go down to the site real quick so we can read that. Defendant Moore continues to assert that she has been misidentified in this case, has no connection to any of the allegations included in the amended complaint, and has been subject to unjust litigation costs. Okay? Mind y'all, I just did Sunday. Look at my video from Sunday. I put it on there for the Felicia Bryn Moore a lady, Terrence from Giving You the Real Tea, and also Tea Talk with Your Girl. You can use that. I put it on the screen. If you don't want to use it on the screen, you want the email, I can email it to you. You can put that complaint and do a complaint with the OCDC, the Office of Chief Disciplinary Counsel of Missouri, to file a complaint against her, because if she's suing YouTubers, she was supposed to subpoena YouTube, Google for our real identities and not just put them on these lawsuits. Since she did, she had people on here, some intentional, that she have on here that's not real names. That's not the people's real names. But she did it in a case where you know that she know your real name, but this is not your real name. Okay. So again, they have put this lady in this position. This lady don't even know none of this shit. Okay. Even the facts plaintiff does allege against Drop the Mic do not state a claim. Okay. Plaintiff attempts to assert an authority to enforce laws, be they criminal statutes or administrative statutes, empowering the Federal Trade Commission where no such authority exists. Plaintiff's claims against defendant Moore have no basis in law or fact and should be dismissed. 1, plaintiff's claims are not factually plausible. Plaintiff's claims are not factually plausible, even in plaintiff's brief response to defendant Moore's motion to dismiss. Plaintiff does not attempt to explain which of the plaintiff's factual allegations involving defendant Moore meeting pleading standards. That effort would be futile. As explained in defendant Moore's previously submitted briefing, plaintiff's sparse allegations involving defendant Moore do not allege a tort, constitutional violation, or any other type of claim that plaintiff could bring. Furthermore, plaintiff does not even try to defend her First Amendment, Federal Trade Commission Act, or criminal statute claims in her response to defendant motions to dismiss. Those claims are legally deficient, and there is no rational explanation plaintiff can provide for why these claims were alleged in the first place. Plaintiff has provided no reason why claims 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, or 14 should not be dismissed by the court. They ought to be dismissed. Not the ought to be dismissed, period. Okay. The only claim plaintiff appears to defend are those alleging defamation and tortious conduct. But all plaintiff offers are threadbare recitals of elements of a cause of action supported by mere conclusory statements, which do not suffice to state a claim. And he give a case study. Plaintiff makes no attempt to show which alleged facts even involve defendant Moore, or which facts are associated with such claim. As defendant Moore has thoroughly briefed, plaintiff's allegations did not state a claim. The court should dismiss plaintiff's amended complaint against defendant Moore. 2, YouTube and Google's community guidelines are irrelevant. YouTube and Google's community guidelines are irrelevant. Why plaintiff discusses these community guidelines in the response to defendant's motion to dismiss is unclear. Plaintiff's assertion related to courts consistently admitting YouTube and Google guidelines to demonstrate a user's misconduct is not supported by a single citation. Furthermore, defendant Moore's motion to dismiss is not based on guidelines provided by social media platforms. Plaintiff appears to be inappropriately introducing facts related to these guidelines for the first time in plaintiff's response. Plaintiff claims against defendant Moore should be dismissed. 3, Section 230 immunity is not at issue with respect to defendant Moore. Section 230 immunity is not at issue with respect to defendant Moore. Again, it is not clear why plaintiff even mentions this topic when it is unresponsive to defendant Moore's motion to dismiss, meaning she didn't even put this shit in here. She didn't argue these facts in her fucking motion to dismiss. So why the fuck are you even putting this shit in here? Defendant Moore has provided sufficient reasons without reference to any immunity as to why plaintiff's amended complaint is deficient. The court should dismiss plaintiff's claim against defendant Moore. After YouTube and Google and TikTok submitted their motions to dismiss under section Rule 230, then she started putting out for everybody like they don't have immunity. Bitch, we didn't say we did. We're regular citizens, content creators. We're not these third-party damn platforms that just allow people on them to do commentary. No, nobody said this shit but Google, TikTok, and YouTube. So why the fuck is you even putting this shit in your response or opposition to our request for dismissal? But I digress. 4, plaintiff has not stated a claim for defamation or infliction of emotional distress against defendant Moore. Plaintiff has failed to state any claims for defamation or infliction of emotional distress against defendant Moore. Plaintiff does not even attempt to show how any of the facts she has asserted supports her defamation or intentional infliction of emotional distress claims. That is because none do. He said, in other words, she ain't got enough. Okay. Quita C, Moore is supposed to be drop the mic, but clearly this is not drop the mic. She put this lady on this lawsuit being an asshole, and now she got this lady paying for attorneys and all this shit. But we digress. Plaintiff defamation claims appear to stem from discussions about plaintiff's attorney disciplinary record. That information is already public, and he gives the case. Sarita McNeil, here's the case in Missouri in 2020. The sharing of public information cannot be the basis of a defamation action because motherfucker, it's true. That's the first thing about defamation. It can't be true. So it's not defaming your fucking character because you actually did those things. And you admitted to those things in your fucking discipline. Moreover, plaintiff fails to allege that defendant Moore herself published any information about her, an essential element to defamation. Plaintiff's limited factual allegations against defendant Moore do not state a claim, and the court should dismiss plaintiff's claims against defendant Moore. 5, defendant properly characterized plaintiff's claims as baseless. Damn. Defendant properly characterized plaintiff's claims as baseless. Plaintiff has failed to allege any personal involvement by defendant Moore. Plaintiff has not provided any facts showing how defendant Moore is connected in any way to someone with the YouTube username Drop the Mic. Plaintiff has not pled that defendant Moore has participated in any behavior that raises to the level of a tort. Plaintiff claims are baseless, and plaintiff does not even attempt to defend them in the plaintiff's response to defendant Moore's motion to dismiss. Instead, she incorrectly asserts that defendant Moore exhibited intent and malice, expressed on videos, and assertion found nowhere in the amended complaint, and impermissibly made for the first time in the plaintiff's response to defendant Moore's motion to dismiss. Plaintiff's claims include verifiable falsehoods, despite the fact that plaintiff has still not shown defendant Moore or this court any other basis for her claims against defendant Moore, including why defendant Moore is even named in this motherfucking lawsuit. Defendant Moore ignored the public harm and distress caused to plaintiff. That's a quote, unquote. Even though plaintiff has not asserted any facts demonstrating public harm or how anyone publishing facts about plaintiff's already public attorney disciplinary record arises to a tort. And defendant Moore relied on Section 230 immunity when defendant Moore has not asserted Section 230 immunity. Plaintiff continues to submit nonsensical and baseless allegations to this court with respect to defendant Moore, causing defendant Moore substantial costs in this process. Plaintiff has abused the court process, filed many frivolous claims, proceeded with them despite requests for her to stop, and now, when confronted, fails to even attempt to defend her misconduct. I smell another bar complaint. Anybody else sensing another bar complaint? Yep. It looks like another bar complaint here. Okay. The court should dismiss the claim against defendant Moore and provide any further relief the court deems just and proper. And in conclusion, plaintiff has failed to state a claim for which relief can be granted against defendant Moore. For all of these reasons, the court should grant defendant Moore's motion to dismiss and any further relief the court deems just and proper. Batch. And that's his certificate of service. The tone of that response is that they're sick of anonymous. These real attorneys have acknowledged that this bitch is an idiot. She does not know the letters of the law, the rules of the law, none of the things of the law. But she studied trying to impose things. She started a smear campaign against people. People have unsubscribed to our channels and all of this stuff. She has her flying monkeys all around YouTube and on their websites, disparaging our names and everything. All the things that can be recouped in a court of law, because these things are false. They're just deflections that they're doing. It's causing intentional emotional distress. All that stuff. All of these things. People got to spend their time on this bullshit. Okay? So, yeah. She gonna get the popping because all of these attorneys now are asking for motherfucking financial relief for the shit that they done spent with her bullshitting around with her ass. So we're going to see where she's going to come up with this money from, because in my opinion, hey, Appetite. Okay, y'all are already over here on what's it called? I'm about to start the live over here on what do you call this thing? Patreon. So come on over. Get in here. Okay, we got some shit going on. Get in here because I got some shit to play. We about to take a look at it. And like I said, at the end of the day and beginning of the day, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, this bitch about to find out that people are not as stupid as she thought they were. And people are not playing with her because she's doing too much. Thank you, Uppity. She's the link is for Patreon is posted pinned in the chat. $5. We're about to go over there because we gotta watch a snippet. I gotta ask y'all some questions, and it's a fraud of fucking alert. Okay, I got some information about some stuff that's been around here fraudulently. So we about to talk about that too over here on the Patron. Okay, so y'all get on over here. Again, PBE dropped some shit in there too that we got to get into. We're going to get into that maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But we got to get into this shit because she has, a timeline that's superb. She has her police reports. Remember I read the one police report? I have the original. She did try to get a restraining order or obtained a restraining order on her for domestic violence. That means either you resided with this person or you were in a relationship with this person. That's what makes it domestic. Lying to the court. Lying to the court. Yep. So we gonna see about it. We gonna see y'all over here on Patreon. Y'all get on over here. Get in here. All right. I'm gonna see y'all later. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. Where my Bridget J at? Oh, you know what? I think she have. Do she have Bible class today? I think she do. Well, we'll see. All right. Hope she okay. But bye, y'all. Oops. I'm not leaving the studio, y'all. I'm about to leave the studio instead of ending the damn live.